I am here to tell you guys that schools should shorten the length of homework. Students students fall asleep over homework. The impact is it affects all students from all ages, all the way up to college. My credibility is I have education and mental health research from the past 5 years. So, the problem is homework stress. When you are given a lot of homework in a short amount of time, it can put a lot of stress on you. The cause is because of an outdated mindset that lots of homework will drill things into your brain and make you perform better. The solution is to shorten and modernize homework. Quality over quantity. Make sure that you're just giving what the students actually need to know and nothing extra. The opposition is that schools think that less challenge means that the students won't perform as well academically. Okay. So our first problem is excessive homework and student stress. Students are given probably around 2 to 3 hours nightly. So depending on where they are, they might have 8 hours of school, 6 hours of school, 3 hours of school. That could be double or half the time that they are already in school, so their brain isn't given much rest, and this can cause stress, anxiety, and burnout, which isn't good for the mind. It causes sleep loss and low well-being. It can be a lot. There's also multiple subjects which can all give homework at all different times. There's no correlation here, and it can really pile on top of you without any of your teachers realizing. So a quote that I have from Arthur Finch, who's an education researcher, he said that homework-induced stress refers to the emotional and mental strain students experience due to excessive homework. And this is from LearnWise Daily 2025. So this cites that teen homework is a top stressor for students. Let's look at why this problem continues to exist. The problem persists because the school systems think that more work equals learning mindset. But when you put a certain amount of stress on your brain, it's hard to retain information and actually learn it. College readiness pressure. High schools like to use the excuse that this isn't going to fly in college, and they'll give extra work. Test score demands. Teachers think that giving students more homework will help them score better on tests, which leads to repetitive tasks. Students are asked to do the same thing over and over again just so they can score well on a test, and there is no balance between subjects. The teachers aren't working together, they're working separately, so there's no way to balance the homework that is given. So some students might be overloaded and stressed. A quote that I have from Ariel Gilreath, an NPR education reporter, noted that much of the homework students are assigned is needlessly repetitive and hasn't adapted to changes posed by AI. And this is from the NPR 2026, which shows repetitive tasks and homework. Understanding these causes help us design a realistic solution. My solution would be to shorten homework and modernize assignments. Set a homework on time. Set a time limit on homework under or equal to 90 limits. I would say quality over quantity. Subject coordinations. Maybe the teachers can work together to make sure that we aren't being given too much homework. Tech-based efficiency. Use technology that students can finish their homework faster, smarter learning, less repetitive tasks. better for the some benefits are reduce stress. It can improve your mental health, higher engagement and retention in tasks, and a balanced student life. So a quote that I have here from Sarah Zolov, an NSHSS education analyst, wrote, "Excessive homework can cause significant stress and burnout." And that is true, speaking from my experience. You know, much homework has put a burden on me, and it's, I can barely function throughout the day just thinking about it. Some may disagree with this approach, so let's address that. So, who objects and why? Teachers object because they think less of a challenge will lead to, students slacking off and scoring lower on tests. Parents are worried for their children's college readiness, obviously. Admins also, want students to score well on their tests. So this is all for discipline belief. So my rebuttal is to shorter homework will equal better outcomes, because less is being put on the student's brain. Mental health equals success. Obviously it's easier to learn when you have a better mental health, and giving less homework would free up some more time for students to go out and enjoy themselves, do things that they want to do, and not be stuck looking at a screen or a paper doing the same task over and over again. The CLRN team stated that high homework workload is associated with lower well-being and increased risk of mental health problems. This is from the California Learning Resource Network, 2025. So balanced workload can equal a better performance. Now let's preview the 4 points we've covered. So the problem is too much homework can cause stress overload. Cause is because of the academic pressure put onto you by teachers, parents, and admins. Solution, I would say, smarter assignments. Quality over quantity. Just make sure the students are learning what they have to and nothing more. And my rebuttal is balance improves learning, and when you can balance out the subjects, it helps the students be able to focus on everything that's given to them. So supporting homework reform leads to effective learning, healthy minds. Thank you.